Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Week 2 NFL reactions. We've got a ton to talk about today, so we're going to get straight into it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do whatever you got to do to show support. You know I appreciate any of it. So let's get straight into the video and let's react to NFL Week 2. Alright, now taking a look at Thursday Night Football, we have the Packers manhandling the Commanders in what was honestly a pretty boring game at the start, but actually kind of picked up steam a little bit. Looking at the box score now, Jayden Daniels, it does not look like he was very good tonight, and I also hear that he's injured and is questionable to play, but is very unlikely to play. He threw for 24 completions out of 42 attempts, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Ja'Cory Kroski Merritt led them in running, but they just couldn't get anything going on the run game, and also Austin Ekeler's out for the rest of the season. The receiving game was really led by Zach Ertz, 6 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown. Deebo Samuel also had a touchdown, and the defense, could not stop a nosebleed. They couldn't do anything against the Packers. Looking at the Packers now, Jordan Love looks like he was pretty efficient. 19 for 31, 292, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Also was respectfully good in the running game when needed. Josh Jacobs even had a score as well. Receiving game was led by Tucker Kraft, who had a big day. 6 receptions for 124 yards and a touchdown. Romeo Doubs even had a score. But I also heard that, where is he? Jaden Reed also tore and broke his collarbone. Prayers out to him. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. And the defense, again, just looks absolutely unstoppable. Micah Parsons is an absolute animal, man. Congrats to the Packers. I mean, Packers might be one of the best teams in the NFC right now. I know it's week 2, but man. Looking at Sunday now, it seems that the Dolphins are not very good, as I predicted. The Patriots beat them, and honestly, the score makes it look a lot closer than it actually was. Drake May was almost perfect throwing the ball. 82 completion percentage, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was lights out all night. The rushing game was really a fart. They could not get anything going. Drake May even had a score. And the receiving game was led by Ramondre Stevenson, man. 5 receptions for 88 yards. Keyshawn Bout even had a score. Mac Hollins had a touchdown. It seems like they were able to contain Stephon Diggs, though. And the defense going over here was good to start the game, but almost let Miami come back at the end. Looking at the Dolphins now, Tua Tagovailoa, it does not look like he was, that good when you use the eye test. I mean, his final stat line looks really good, but when you watch the guy play, man, he does not know what he's doing out there. Once again, Devon Achane was your guys' entire offense. 8 receptions for 92 yards. This guy is just the second coming of Christian McCaffrey. Tyreek Hill also had a bounce-back week. The defense, again, could not stop a nosebleed. Summing up this game, the Dolphins are in trouble. Mike McDaniel will be fired by Week 5, and the Patriots look like a damn good football team. Now moving on, we have the Bills manhandling the Jets, and what a switch-up for the Jets. They looked like one of the greatest shows on turf, literally, no pun intended, to an absolute crap show. Josh Allen was not that efficient this game, 14 for 25, but he also did get hurt that game, so don't judge him off of just this game. He also had a very big running game today, but the player of the game, the highlight of the game, has to go to James Cook. 21 attempts for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. Damn. Receiving was mainly led by Josh Palmer, 2 receptions for 47 yards, but Dalton Kincaid did get the receptions, and the defense, again, was just on Justin Fields the entire night. Justin Fields couldn't do anything against this defense. Looking at Justin Fields now, I also heard he did get hurt during the game. Tyrod Taylor had to come in and throw a touchdown pass. The run game was not much to talk about. No one could really do anything except for Justin Fields, who did have a decent day. Jeremy Ruckert even had a reception touchdown. Defense, again, just even when Josh Allen was hurt, they could not stop a nosebleed. The Bills are the best team in the AFC right now, and the Jets, I mean, without Justin Fields, you guys are going to have a rough one. Now moving on, we have the Rams absolutely squashing the Titans, and what was honestly a pretty good day for Matt Stafford offensively. 23 for 33, 298, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Also highlighting Kyren Williams in the running game, 17 for 66. Puka Nacua did have a 45-yard running touchdown. Also, Blake Corum had a running touchdown too. And looking at the receiving game now, Puka Nacua continues to make his Offensive Player of the Year campaign. 8 receptions for 91 yards. Davante Adams also absolutely went off. 6 for 106 and a touchdown. Davis Allen even had a score. And the defense just was on Cam Ward the entire night, coming off with 5 sacks. 2 of them coming from Byron Young, man. Wow, he's actually having himself a great year so far. At the Titans now, Cam Ward doesn't look like he was very efficient, but was great decision making when he was needed. Obviously 19 for 33, 175, 1 touchdown, no picks. Cam Ward again, not a bad quarterback at all. His team just absolutely is terrible. Tony Pollard, 20 for 92 yards, was very effective in the running game. Elic Ayomanor had a touchdown. I've never heard of that guy in my life. 4 for 56. There's nothing to talk about with the Titans defense. Overall, the Rams look really good, as I predicted. Packers, Eagles, Rams look really good. Those two are probably the top 3 teams in the NFC. And then the Titans, better luck next year. Now we got the Ravens absolutely beating the hell out of the Browns. And this game was awful from what I got to see. Joe Flacco got benched, I heard. Dylan Gabriel threw a touchdown pass. I mean, 3 for 3, 19 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he did what was needed of him. Joe Flacco also ran for 1. Quinshon Judkins making his presence known. 10 attempts for 61 yards. Dang. Receiving game, there's not really that much to talk about. Dylan Sampson had a score. Cedric Tillman had a score. It was really led by Jerry Jeudy, though. 4 receptions for 51 yards. And then the defense, especially their secondary, just could not stop anything. The Ravens were able to do everything. Looking at the Ravens now, Lamar Jackson wasn't too accurate, but 225 yards and 4 passing touchdowns. Also, running game was really shut down for the first time in I think a century. Or the running game for the Ravens was absolutely shut down. Derrick Henry fumbles again. Derrick Henry honestly has not looked that good so far. I'm sorry. Also got to highlight Devontae Walker for catching 2 passing touchdowns. Tylan Wallace catching 1. DeAndre Hopkins catching 1. The defense obviously, just shutting down anything the Browns were able to do. Ravens, I mean, hey, what a bounce back. Putting 40 in back-to-back games. Your offense looks really good, I must say. And then the Browns, I mean, I don't really know what else I expected. Now we got the 49ers barely beating the Saints, man. I was close on this one. I actually had the Saints winning. Looking at the 49ers now, Mac Jones actually had a really decent day. 279 and 3 touchdowns. Could not get a single thing going on the run game. Actually, Christian McCaffrey didn't have that bad of a day. I mean, I will say, man. And then the receiving game was led by Jawan Jennings. 5 receptions for 89 yards and a score. Luke Farrell, 2 for 15 and a score. Christian McCaffrey, 6 for 52 and a score. I mean, Christian McCaffrey might be back, honestly. I know it's early, but, man, he looks good. Looking at the Saints now, Spencer Rattler, 25 for 34, 207 and 3 scores. Wow, he actually had I would say a pretty good day. Alvin Kamara was very effective in the run game. The receiving game was really led by Rashid Shaheed, who's back. 4 receptions for 52 yards and a touchdown. Devon Vele even had a receiving touchdown. Jawan Johnson, very underrated tight end, had a receiving touchdown. And I'm not looking at the defense because there wasn't much to talk about here. Both defenses are absolutely horrendous. And the 49ers, I mean, they can prove that they don't need Brock Purdy, I mean, to win football games. Their roster is loaded enough without this. And now we have another game of the year candidate, and it is the Cowboys barely beating the Giants. And Brandon Aubrey, we got to talk about him real quick. Brandon Aubrey just looks absolutely godly. I mean, he kicked the game-tying field goal and the game-winning field goal. My goodness. At the Cowboys now, Dak looks like he had a pretty good day. 38 for 52, 361, 2 touchdowns, but also had a very ugly pick. Rushing game was led by Javonte Williams, 18 for 97 and a touchdown. Hey, that leg looks pretty good. It's also effective to highlight that George Pickens had a touchdown, Kevontae Turpin had a touchdown, but receiving game overall was led by CeeDee Lamb, 9 receptions for 112 yards. He looks pretty good. Defense, I'm not going to look at both defenses. They could not stop a nosebleed, either of them. Russell Wilson, though, threw for 450 passing yards, throwing the ball 41 times. Eagles, take notes. Not much to talk about in the run game, but Cam Skattebo did have a touchdown. Malik Neighbors had arguably was the player of the entire week. 9 receptions for 167 yards and a score. Wan'Dale Robinson, 8 for 142 and a score. Wan'Dale Robinson, by the way, very underrated receiver. Giants, I don't know. I have this take about Russell Wilson. He's not your guys' problem, but he's also not your guys' solution. He's not going to get you any wins, but he's also not going to lose you games. And that's the problem with having this kind of quarterback. Cowboys, I mean, hey, kudos to you. All right, and now we got the Bengals beating the Jaguars, and I got a feel for Joe Burrow, man. But hey, no Joe Burrow, no problem. But I got a feel for him, man. I mean, just dude, the guy just can't keep getting injured. Now he has turf toe and is gonna need surgery on it. But he was going off, 7 for 13 and a touchdown. Jake Browning, though, was absolutely horrible. 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. 3 very ugly interceptions. Chase Brown wasn't that good in the run game. Jamar Chase, though, having a very big bounce-back game, as well as T. Higgins. Mitchell Tinsley even had a receiving touchdown. The defense wasn't able to come up with much, but Trey Hendrickson did make his presence known. Looking at the Jaguars now, Trevor Lawrence was not that efficient. 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. I mean, he was slinging it, man. It kind of looked like Travis Etienne was back to his old self. 14 attempts for 71 yards. Dyami Brown had a score. Brian Thomas Jr. does not look like the same man he was last season. And then the defense just could not stop anything. They couldn't even contain Jake Browning in general. This game was ugly to start, and it was just ugly in general. Yep, the Lions look. The Lions are the Lions. They beat the absolute crap out of the Bears. Caleb Williams did not look bad at all. 19 for 30, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Running game could not get much going. 12 for 63 and 1 touchdown from Swift. But let me talk to you about Rome Odunze. 7 for 128 and 2 touchdowns. I had the guy in fantasy. I'm a very happy boy, and I'm not even going to mention the defense. Looking at the Lions now, Jared Goff was almost perfect passing the ball. 334 yards and 5 passing touchdowns. What was this guy on last night? Jahmyr Gibbs also had a very big bounce-back day. 12 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. David Montgomery even had a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 9 receptions for 115 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also willing to admit, J-Mo, 108 yards on only 2 receptions and a touchdown. The defense was lights out at the end. Jack Campbell even forcing a fumble and having a fumble recovery. The Lions, I mean, the question is, are the Packers just that good? And now we got the Seahawks having a bounce-back day and beating the Steelers. I don't know what happened here. The Steelers and Jets all of a sudden look back to their old selves. I mean, Sam Darnold was not even really that good. He had 2 ugly turnovers, but Kenneth Walker came back and won you guys this game. I'm not even going to mention anything other than it is worth it to mention Jackson Smith and Jigba and Cooper Kupp, who did have very good days. But Kenneth Walker, man, he was the heart and soul of this team, that game. Looking at the Steelers now, Aaron Rodgers was absolutely horrible. 18 for 33, a touchdown and 2 picks. Could not get anything going on the run game. I'm starting to regret drafting Caleb Johnson in fantasy. DK Metcalf had a touchdown. I mean, he's looking good so far from what I've gotten to see. And then the defense, again, just could not stop a nosebleed. Steelers, again, much like the Jets, what a switch up. Seahawks, also good game. And I fear for my fantasy team because Caleb Johnson. Why did I draft that guy? Just why? Why do I make the decisions I make? Why? And now we got the Colts beating the Broncos by 1 point. And this entire game was BS. The Broncos should have won this game. Bo Nix was going off. Their run game, J.K. Dobbins was going off, had a touchdown. Troy Franklin was going off. The Broncos played some of their best football, but yet they lost because of motion the center. I don't know what that's all about. Daniel Jones, what's gotten into Daniel Jones? I don't know. But Jonathan Taylor, what I do know is that Jonathan Taylor is making an offensive player of the year case. Also having a receiving touchdown. Both defenses were horrible this game. But man, I just feel for the Broncos. The Broncos should be walking out of this game winners. And now we got the Panthers barely losing to the Cardinals. Man, I feel for Bryce Young. Bryce Young looked really good this game. Threw for 328 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also was effective in the run game when he was needed. He didn't have, in general, that good of a day. They barely ran the ball at all. But Hunter Renfrow is making his presence known. He looks like he's back. Looking at Kyler Murray now, Kyler Murray honestly was not really that good. Neither was the run game in general. Neither was the receiving game. Nobody had a great day other than Trey McBride. Just, I feel for the Panthers. I mean, like, the Panthers played better football this game. Bryce played better football than Kyler Murray, but they lost because of their defense again. And now we got the Eagles beating the Chiefs. And yeah, handing the Chiefs the very first 0-3 since the Patrick Mahomes era began. Starting off with this game, Jalen Hurts did not have to do much, but he was very accurate. 15 for 22, only threw 22 times, only threw 101 yards. Was very effective in the run game, obviously with the tush push. Saquon Barkley had a very good day, allowing him to score. Devontae Smith had a very good day, 4 for 53, caught a bomb from Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown is still not getting open all that much. But this defense, man, this defense was all over Patrick Mahomes the entire game. Looking at the Chiefs now, Patrick Mahomes was kind of a fart, 16 for 29. He was very inaccurate. He had a wide open receiver, and he just missed him. It was a way overthrown. The run game just could not get anything besides Patrick Mahomes. Our run defense has been insane so far. Tyquan Thornton caught a bomb. That was completely busted coverage by Adoree Jackson once again. Defense, the defense was good, but just the Eagles won this game. Like, again, Chris Jones in the huddle saying to Jalen Hurts, you don't even have 100 yards, which he did. And Jalen Hurts replied, we won the effing game. Shut up. That's my QB right there. And now we have the eyesore of the entire week, and it is the Falcons beating the Vikings. And I got to highlight something. J.J. McCarthy, I know he's hurt, but he was legitimately terrible in this game. He was just awful. Nothing could get going. Like, Jets did everything he could, but just J.J. McCarthy didn't see him. I mean, that's the long and short of it. Michael Penix also was just terrible. He couldn't do anything. Tyler Algier had a rushing touchdown. Bijan Robinson was the player of the game by far. Bijan is just an absolute stud. He's going to have an offensive player of the year type season. But besides that, there's nothing to talk about at all. This game was just absolutely garbage. Nobody could do anything besides Bijan Robinson. And now we have the Buccaneers barely squeaking by the Texans. And honestly, what was a very competitive game. Baker Mayfield looked legitimately good in this game. 25 for 38, 215, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Continues to be very efficient. The receiving game was highlighted by none other than Emeka Egbuka again, who had a score. Ryan Miller even had a score. Rushing game was very efficient too. Rachaad White had the rushing touchdown, but Bucky Irving continues to look very good. At the Texans now, CJ Stroud, I mean, I feel for man. CJ Stroud's just doing everything he can. It's just his entire team is hurt. Him and Nico Collins are just doing everything they can, but just their team just is injured. They're baffled. They're battered. They just suck right now. The Texans, I mean, I fear to say, but the Texans might finish third place in their division. I think the Jaguars look better than them right now. And finally, we have the Chargers manhandling the Raiders and what was another just snooze fest. I mean, Justin Herbert actually was not that bad. Justin Herbert looks like an MVP right now. Marion Hampton, again, drafted this guy in fantasy. One of the biggest mistakes of my life. Yeah. Keenan Allen just continues to look like old Keenan Allen again. Quentin Johnston even had a score. The defense, obviously, holding the Raiders to 9 points, which is also very impressive. At the Geno Smith. Oh my God, Geno Smith was awful. Good game, Chargers, man. Geno Smith, what in the world was that performance? That was pathetic. That's going to wrap it up for this video. I have to get out of here, but it was good talking to you guys. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, do whatever you got to do. I'm going to post my Week 3 NFL picks this upcoming Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully an episode of the podcast will be coming sometime this week. Depends on if my partner, what is going on with his schedule. So without further ado, I'll see y'all guys the next time I upload. Peace.